The issue of HIV and AIDS in Malawi has been a song which has been rocking homes of Malawians almost in every setting, be it in the rural areas and of course in the urban areas. This is an issue that government of Malawi, together with its partners and stakeholders, are doing everything possible just to make sure that they bring this issue to an end and that it is controlled once and for all. In this special program, I want to talk to Maureen Luba and, of course, Ulanda Mtamba. These are HIV prevention advocates. They want to tell us about HIV Vaccine Awareness Day. What is this day all about? We want to understand from Maureen and, of course, Ulanda as advocates of HIV prevention. My name is Chawez Band. I hope you'll be there for you to listen and, of course, hear what exactly they want to tell us. Welcome to this chat with me.
Thank you.
Sure. This is Maureen, and the one at the end there is Ulanda. Am I correct?
Thank you.
Beautiful. I want to talk about firstly the issue of HIV Vaccine Awareness Day. I should start with Maureen. When we talk about HIV Vaccine Awareness Day, what are we saying exactly?
Yeah, so this is the day that we get to recognize the efforts of people that are contributing towards finding an effective HIV vaccine. So when I say people, I'm talking about the trial participants, those people that are participating in different trials that are happening across the world. We are also talking about the researchers themselves. We are also talking about the healthy professionals and the communities in general and everyone who is contributing their efforts towards finding an HIV vaccine. But it's also a day that we get to educate, communities on the importance of an HIV vaccine. Why is it that? Why do we need an HIV vaccine? What impact would an HIV vaccine have on the HIV response in general? So that's why we get to commemorate this day.
All right. Maybe if I'm to ask you, Ulanda Mtamba, as an advocate for HIV prevention in Malawi, I want to understand from you, what does a vaccine do? Or if this vaccine is found, to say now we have found a vaccine for HIV, what will it do to a human being in terms of HIV and AIDS?
As you all know, that there are different vaccines which do work, and different researchers and scientists, they had to conduct different studies. There's a vaccine for measles, we have vaccine for polio, and different vaccines that are working. So talking of HIV prevention vaccine, this is really the vaccine that each and everyone is looking up to, because once we can be able to get this vaccine, we'll have the end to AIDS, if I may use that language, because it's a vaccine that if people who are living with HIV, that is the prevention vaccine. If they get this vaccine, definitely they will reduce tremendously the risk of contracting HIV. And a number of vaccines are developed, for instance, the therapeutic vaccines, which can be used by those that are already HIV positive. That is, it will help or enhance their immunity. So this is something that everyone else is looking upon to, so that we should be able to come to an end to the story of HIV and AIDS.
All right, now, getting back to Maureen, I want to understand pretty well, when we talk about trials being conducted, where is Malawi is Malawi included in the issue of the trials when it comes to the issue of trying to find perhaps a vaccine for HIV and AIDS? And of course, who are the people doing these particular trials to make sure that we sing a very positive song one day to say we have found the vaccine for HIV and AIDS?
To begin with, Malawi has never participated in any HIV vaccine trial, but there are, of course, other countries that are conducting trials around HIV vaccine. For instance, in South Africa, there's a trial called HVTN 705, also known as Imbizo in the local language there. But so this trial is actually testing an HIV vaccine candidate, which is meant to deal with a subtype of HIV called clade C. Of course, there's another HIV vaccine trial in the pipeline, and this is expected to be conducted in several countries across the Southern African region, including Malawi. So what we know is that at the moment, as a country, Malawi, we have have submitted a protocol to the Ethics Research Committee, and we are just waiting approval. And once we get that approval as a country, we'll be able to to participate in this kind of trial. But it will be the first time for Malawi to participate in such kind of a trial.
All right. If I to get to Ulanda, why should people care about finding a vaccine for HIV and AIDS?
The vaccine will help to reduce even costs, you know, as we procuring different drugs, as we are rolling out different HIV prevention methods and strategies. There is a lot of resources going into, and these are more or less like short-term preventive strategies. Doesn't mean that they're not working. We are making strides and we're doing good, but we're looking at a long-term method or strategy that will control the pandemic completely. So we are caring most about this vaccine, because we know by the time that the results will be coming out, if we can be able to get the accurate and the good and those results that the vaccine can be accepted, definitely will make a good progress, because we will reduce the number of new HIV infections tremendously.
All right. How close are we? This is perhaps my last but one question. How close are we to finding the vaccine of HIV and AIDS?
Yeah, I would say I think we still have a few years to go. I think if we are to go by history, I think most of the vaccines that we have at the moment, they took a number of years. There are some that took 40 years. There are some that took more than 20 years, some 10 years. But I think what we are also seeing is that I think with technology, with advancements in technologies, I think the number of years it's taking to finding some of this new prevention technology is actually it's becoming less. So we are hoping that with an HIV vaccine, I think with all these technologies around, we should be able to find a vaccine maybe the next 5 to 10 years.
Thank you very much, Ulanda, and of course, Maureen. Sure, thanks. That's Ulanda Mtamba and of course Maureen Luba from the HIV prevention advocates. They are saying they are very positive that one day this particular vaccine pertaining to HIV and AIDS will be found. All that they are trying to do is to make sure that people have got to be aware, government has got to be aware, all the stakeholders, all the partners in this particular field have got to play their role just to make sure that this particular vaccine is found, and that people out there should know that once it is found, they should be able to be part and parcel of this particular arrangement. My name is Chawes Banda. In this particular special program, I wanted us to understand what stakeholders, what partners are doing just to make sure that we combat the HIV virus once and for all. Keep watching MBC and enjoy the rest of our programs.